people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this.
He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter.
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy.
The boxing world can't stop talking about it. Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather. After Crawford's historic victory over Canelo Alvarez, fans and legends are debating whether Bud has already surpassed Floyd, or if Mayweather's unbeaten 50-0 record still makes him untouchable. From talk of a potential David Benavidez challenge, to Floyd reminding everyone of his past dominance. The debate has exploded. Stay tuned as we break down every take in this heated boxing legacy debate. You don't want to miss it. Terence Crawford made it crystal clear. This is his era now. In a recent interview, he said Floyd Mayweather already had his time, but that chapter is closed. Crawford spoke with a kind of confidence you can't fake, insisting that fans should stop clinging to the past and recognize him as the face of boxing today. He's not just talking about being great. He's claiming the throne as the fighter carrying the sport into a new generation. Stick around, because the debate over Crawford versus Mayweather is only heating up.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is, and the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike.
Floyd Mayweather had a reminder for fans. Don't forget what he did to Canelo Alvarez. He pointed out that he was older than Canelo when they fought, yet still dominated him with skill and experience. For Floyd, that's proof his victory was greater than Crawford's. He doesn't see Bud's win over Canelo as some game changer that puts him on top of boxing history. To him, his legacy stands taller because he beat Canelo when it mattered most. Mayweather is clearly not giving up ground in this debate, and that keeps the conversation alive.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what they're gonna say, well, now he got what? I don't know how many.
Analysts are split on Crawford's place in boxing history. Some say he can't touch Floyd Mayweather until he does something beyond his current resume. Mayweather went 50-0, a record that still defines greatness. For Crawford to surpass that, experts suggest he take on a huge risk, moving up in weight to fight David Benavidez. That's a dangerous challenge, but if Bud pulls it off, it could separate him from Floyd forever. Without that fight, critics believe Crawford will always stay a step behind Mayweather. The question is, Will Crawford risk it all for ultimate glory?
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people were scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5.
Trainer Robert Garcia doesn't think Crawford will gamble with his legacy after such a massive win against Canelo Alvarez. Garcia believes Bud won't, and shouldn't, risk fighting David Benavidez. In his eyes, Benavidez is simply too big, too strong, and too dangerous. Crawford already has a resume that secures his place in history, so taking that kind of fight would be unnecessary. Garcia sees him as a smart fighter who knows when to stop pushing the limits. It's a classic boxing debate. Chase history or protect what you built.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But that is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't.
Jeff Mayweather gave Crawford credit for outboxing Canelo, but he also put the win into context. He pointed out that Canelo isn't the same fighter he once was. His shots lacked the sharpness and power that made him dangerous in his prime. For Jeff, the fight showed Crawford's brilliance, but it shouldn't be treated as the ultimate measuring stick. Even after beating Canelo, critics still question Crawford's resume. Jeff's take was clear. The win was impressive, but not enough to silence every doubt. The debate over how much this victory truly means continues to divide boxing fans.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. He hit him a couple times clean, but Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. And he hit Canelo a few times. And Canelo took it as well. So basically, at the end of the day, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. Basically Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work. And it seemed like he just did that. And he would let his hand.
Roy Jones Jr. didn't hold back when talking about Floyd Mayweather. He argued that aside from beating Canelo Alvarez, Floyd didn't consistently face the best fighters at their peak. Jones questioned how Mayweather is often labeled the greatest when much of his resume came against smaller or aging opponents. He admitted Floyd's record is legendary, but said the timing of his matchups leaves a lot to debate. For Jones, fighters like Terence Crawford might actually have a stronger case based on versatility and willingness to take risks. Hearing that from a legend like Roy Jones Jr. only fuels the fire in this conversation.
Is Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10.
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he's going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further.
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his level.
Wait.
See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great. All right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best two names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
because
would
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James.
One analyst made a key distinction between fame and skill. He admitted Floyd Mayweather's popularity and pay-per-view numbers are unmatched. But when it comes to raw talent, he leaned toward Terence Crawford. Crawford's rare ability to switch seamlessly between stances, combined with knockout power in both hands, makes him unique. Add in his footwork and ring IQ. And the argument is that Crawford might be more versatile than Floyd ever was. The real question boxing fans wrestle with: do we measure greatness by numbers or by pure skill in the ring?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you.
Shane Mosley gave his perspective, saying comparisons between Mayweather and Crawford aren't entirely fair. He noted that Crawford's natural size gives him an edge Floyd never had. As a bigger fighter, Crawford can move across divisions and still carry power, something Floyd couldn't do the same way. Mosley praised Mayweather's defense and timing, but made clear Crawford's physical advantages allow him to dominate opponents differently. In his eyes, Crawford's size changes the whole equation.
Do you think it's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford this.
Jeff Mayweather also highlighted how Floyd beat Canelo at a time when he was already past his physical prime. At 36, Floyd wasn't at his peak, yet he still schooled a young and hungry Canelo. For Jeff, that's what makes Floyd's win stand apart. Crawford may have beaten a more experienced version of Canelo, but Floyd did it when he was older and slower, using pure skill and ring IQ. That, he says, is why Floyd's greatness is still unmatched. It's another reminder that timing in boxing tells a big part of the story.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo, that
you know, that time was a razor thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other 2 judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, you know, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
to
but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you were 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
I mean, don't you? I mean,
to make himself look like he did.
Terence Crawford himself has weighed in on the comparisons. He acknowledged everything Floyd achieved and gave him respect, but also said every era comes to an end. According to Crawford, Mayweather had his time, and now it's his. He didn't dismiss Floyd's legacy, but he made it clear he sees himself as the one leading boxing today. Crawford framed it as the natural order of the sport. Greatness passes on, and now he's the fighter in the spotlight. It's a respectful but firm passing of the torch in Crawford's eyes.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No.
No friends in this business for you?
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you wouldn't, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code?
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore, so that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your ass?
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett praised Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez, calling it a career-defining moment. He said that beating Canelo proves Crawford's legacy is bigger than Canelo's, but also made clear this doesn't put Bud above Mayweather. For Hackett, Crawford's win was dominant and historic, but Floyd's career remains unmatched in its depth. He warned against rushing to place Crawford ahead of Mayweather too soon. Hackett's take reflects the middle ground. Celebrate Crawford, but keep Mayweather's legacy in perspective.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Damn, like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit
question.
gotta make sense. Like you said, you be the shark and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend. But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your line of suits get your money. Go ahead and get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat no more.
What's up,
Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat. He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just whatever, doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. a lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's because when a guy see himself up here and then fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he be like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you, you don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get. I seen.
Sean Porter praised Crawford's win as one of the most dominant moments in recent boxing history. He said Crawford didn't just rise to the occasion against Canelo, he dismantled him. Porter pointed out that the fight showcased Crawford's adaptability across weight classes and his ability to neutralize different styles. For him, this was a statement that Crawford belongs in the conversation with the very best. It was more than a victory. It was a message to the entire boxing world.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and you know, some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules. Exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting a... Forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced... Why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them... you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Crawford's latest achievement has already secured him a permanent spot in boxing history by becoming the first man to win undisputed titles in 3 different divisions. He's done something no one else has. That level of dominance across multiple weights proves his versatility and cements his greatness, whether or not he surpasses Mayweather. Crawford's place among the all-time greats is undeniable, no matter how the debates go. This record alone guarantees Crawford's legacy will last forever.
Terence Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller man beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terence Crawford. It's gonna look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terence Bud Crawford.
That's it. That's the story. Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather is more than just a fantasy matchup. It's a debate defining boxing right now. Some say Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez and his undisputed titles across 3 weight classes prove he's the pound-for-pound king. Others argue Mayweather's 50-0 record, pay-per-view dominance, and unmatched resume keep him on top. And then there's the looming question. Would a David Benavidez fight cement Crawford's legacy forever? Drop your thoughts below, Crawford or Mayweather. Who deserved the crown? Make sure to like, subscribe, and join us for more big fight breakdowns, legacy debates, and everything happening in boxing today.